this morning.
We'll keep an eye on that.
We sure will. Comedian Steve Hofstetter likes competition. He's starting to do some sports broadcasting, and his takedowns of hecklers are getting millions of views on YouTube.
Yeah, he's coming to Rochester this weekend at Photo City Improv on Atlantic Avenue. And thankfully, we had a great friendly talk on Skype. I didn't heckle him. He didn't heckle me back. Check this out. Have you been to Rochester before?
I have, but this is the first time I'm doing a public show in Rochester. I've played the colleges a great deal. I've played University of Rochester and RIT, and some community colleges in the area as well. But this is the first time I'm doing a club show, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, so you're familiar with the area. People know who you are. Why do you like Rochester? Why do you like coming back?
Well, I like Rochester during the summer. That's the important part. I mean, in the winter, it gets so gray. I think University of Rochester school colors are gray and dark gray. And we're set in Rochester. The song would be called "The Sun Will Come Out, Never Shoot Me in the Face." It's in the winter, it gets very depressing, but in the summer, it's absolutely beautiful, and that's why I'm coming in the summer.
Yeah, you could take the show outside if you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are well known. I mean, you've done a lot, but one of the things you're known for is something that you've done on YouTube for taking down a heckler. I watched one of them. It was quite funny. Do you like to interact with the crowd like that? Do you hope a heckler is going to say something to give you some more material or feedback?
Well, I never want for it because I have hours of material that I came to do. You know, I'm working specifically right now. I'm pretty close to recording my next special, and so I'm going to be working on honing this material. And if a heckler interrupts, that's going to make it more difficult for me. Now, that said, I know I'm good at handling it. So if you see me smile when it happens, it's not because I want it to happen. It's the same way that if a gunfighter had a guy charging at him with a knife, he'd probably smile a little bit.
Huh. So you're used to that. You're quick-witted. You think on your feet. Is that a talent you've always had? Did you have to work up to that?
I'm the youngest of four, and they're all very, very bright. And so I had to think on my feet to survive. It's just a skill I developed out of pure necessity. I started the first thing I ever did, I joined an improv group when I was 13 years old to impress a girl. It did not work. She was deliriously unimpressed, and she quit 2 weeks later, but I was already hooked. I loved the positive attention. Everybody in this world is just trying to matter. Everything that we do, we're trying to matter. We're trying to make a difference. And sometimes people try to matter by yelling at strangers on the internet. And sometimes people matter by actually getting good at something they love. And doing improv that first time, it was the first time I ever experienced mattering in a positive way. And I realized very quickly, okay, I have to find a way to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, you're certainly good at your job because, like I said, you've been on plenty of shows, Comics Unleashed, the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. You've done stuff with SportsCenter. You've done so much. You ever look back at all your accomplishments, and can you believe you made it this far?
That's the thing about being a damaged person. You only look forward. You can never be like, yeah, I did all this. You have to be like, well, what's next? I'm happy with a lot of it. The thing that I think is most amazing to me is that in the last 2 years, I've really gotten into the sports end of things. And I have a show called Major League Podcast where I interview baseball players. And the idea that 2 years ago, I'd have been happy to talk to any one of these guys. Now I've talked to 20 of them.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I've become good friends with some of them. And it's the weirdest thing I am close friends with the player whose uniform number I wore in Little League because I was such a fan of his.
That's amazing.
And that's something that on days where where things aren't going well, where I have to make a 10-hour drive, where I get there and the crowd is drunk, whatever it is, that's what I can stop and look back and go, oh yeah, I'm doing okay.
So is that something you want to do? Do you think maybe in the future you will maybe turn more to sports?
Yeah, it's something I love doing. I have a show in development right now with a network that, hopefully we'll find out in a couple of weeks if it goes forward. I love it. Comedy is my absolute first love, but if I can fuse that with sports, that's just such an amazing thing I get to do.
He's at Photo City Improv tonight and tomorrow.